Hakai.
Previously on Dragon Ball Hakai, after finally revealing his appearance, Odisu, the leader of the 5 great celestial mages, who resembles Anze, the leader of the celestial guardians, uses his terrible magic to kill Kiboru. After seeing her assistant killed right in front of her, Lei tries to attack the mage, but is almost killed by him. Needing to be saved by Goku, who after freeing Supreme Kai from her suffering, asks her to leave planet Chameleon, promising to avenge Kiboru's death. Now Goku, Universe 6's God of Destruction, and Odisu, the great mage of the elements and the leader of the 5 great celestial mages, are about to start their fight. What power will these two use to win? Find out now. Chapter 16, The God of Destruction, Son Goku. Goku and Odisu stare at each other as they let out a small fraction of their powers, evidenced by the slight current of air surrounding them. As he faces his opponent, Goku wonders in thought which transformation he should use. He reflects that the best way is, before starting to spend too much energy, to understand how his opponent's abilities work. On the other hand, the power of the one standing in front of him is gigantic. If he starts using a very low power level, he can end up getting killed quickly. Goku closes his eyes for a moment, and what comes to his mind is the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. When he opens his eyes, chunks of ground flying through the air, then reveal a crater that has just opened in the ground around the protagonist, as he is surrounded by an aura of power. Odisu finds that very strange. He reveals that he senses a great increase in Goku's power, and from what he knows about the Saiyans of this realm, such a significant increase in power should occur through a transformation. Shouldn't Goku be transformed into some level of Super Saiyan by now? Why does his appearance remain the same? Goku notes in his speech Odisu's knowledge about the Saiyans, but without wanting to dwell into this question, he gives the answer the mage wants, explaining that since he became a god, he can assess the power of all his non-divine transformations without having to transform his body. Right now he's using the power of a Super Saiyan 3, but he's doing it without having to change his appearance. Goku admits that this way is much better, because then he can use the transformation's full potential without wasting energy transforming. Odisu understands the explanation. He points out a problem. Goku's power level remains mediocre compared to his own. He recommends that his opponent level up more to face him. Goku is annoyed upon hearing this, telling his opponent not to act like he's in control. Goku charges at Odisu to try a blow, but just as he is about to unleash a powerful punch at his foe, Odisu gives the Saiyan god a single look, which is enough for Goku to return to where he came from with a series of mid-air acrobatic moves. As he asks in his mind what that feeling he's just had, revealing that for a moment he was absolutely sure that if he'd advanced a single meter, he would have been killed in the blink of an eye. Reaching the ground again, Goku deduces that anything below the Super Saiyan God appears to be intolerable to his enemy. But what about Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan? Odisu already knows what Goku is talking about. It's the blue transformation, right? But actually no. Goku says that some things have changed with the transformation since he's become a god. Goku transforms into Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, but Odisu recognizes something strange. The color is pink. Goku explains that when a divine being transforms into a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, the color is not blue, but that color. This transformation is called Super Saiyan Rose. He reveals he doesn't like that form. It reminds him of someone he detested, but it's what he intends to use against the mage for now. For Odisu, Goku said too much, which should be summed up in one thing. This transformation has a power level similar to Super Saiyan Blue, right? If that's the case, he'll need more power. Why does he insist on these games instead of using his true power? In thought, Goku reveals the reason for this. He's already realized that for some reason Odisu wants him to use his full power, so it would be good to avoid falling for his strategy and not use his full power at first. He can play with his enemy's patience while fighting without using his full power, and in the meantime he will try to find out more about his abilities. Goku again charges at his opponent, warning him to get ready, and when he is close enough to attempt his blow and lunges forward with a punch at the enemy, he feels something, and in the next second he is pushed by something strong enough to even get him off the ground. Goku recovers with an acrobatic movement in the air, then lands safely. As he does so, he reflects on what happened, revealing that his blow for some reason simply lost strength until stopped. What did he do? Closing his eyes and concentrating, Goku finally understands what's happening. It's so discreet, it's barely noticeable, but he can sense a change in the air around him. Goku comes to the conclusion that the opponent is manipulating the air around him to stop his attacks, but states that this alone won't be enough, so he decides to go to the next level, the Kaioken, increased 10 times. After multiplying the power of Super Saiyan Rose by 10 times, Goku advances with full power towards his enemy, preparing another punch. But even with a punch 10 times more powerful, Goku can't reach the Great Mage of the Elements. But he doesn't give up, trying a sidekick towards the enemy's face. But he's also stopped a few centimeters from the mage's face, who watches everything without moving, causing clear frustration in the destroyer. Goku multiplies himself by surrounding the enemy with several mirages of his body, advancing towards Odisu to attack him from all sides with the intention of confusing him. But the mage, already tired of all this, screams that it is useless, and proves it by releasing a strong current of air that destroys the ground around him. At the same time, he hits Goku's clones, undoing with his wind the many mirages that surround him, until he finally hits the real Goku, launching the Hakai towards a forest, and causing him to destroy a few dozen trees until he finally stops. Odisu wonders if Goku now understands that he won't be able to do anything against him in this form. Fighting a god like him using such a mediocre power level is sacrilege. As he stands up, Goku tells his opponent that it's not necessary to use complicated words. If Odisu wants him to level up, that's what he's going to do. Goku emanates an aura of even greater power. It's the Kaioken increased 20 times. He will use twice as much power now. Placing his hands in position while concentrating energy, Goku looks at his enemy with a determined gaze. While watching what he's doing, Odisu reveals that he knows that increasing power of 20 times is Goku's limit with this technique called Kaioken. This is the maximum power the destroyer will achieve using the Super Saiyan Rose, which represents no danger to him and his wind barrier. After concentrating a lot of energy, Goku finally makes his attack and says, "Kamehameha, increase 20 times!" Goku launches the powerful energy wave towards the end of the forest. The wave of power makes the same trajectory as he did before when he was launched by Odisu, heading towards Odisu himself. But when the attack arrives, it is stopped by the mage's barrier, who jokes that this attack is boring. So boring that it's blasphemous for Goku to attack him with something so mediocre. But Goku smiles at this teasing, wondering if his enemy will find what comes next boring. Goku says, "Kaioken increased 50 times. Goku again increases his power, releasing enough energy to more than double the size of his Kamehameha. Odisu is at first surprised by this, but in a second he understands what's happened. When Goku became a god, he acquired a divine body, and that body has a much higher limit than the limit that his mortal body had. The Celestial Mage admits that this attack he will need to deflect, and seeing the energy wave was passed through his barrier, Odisu dodges it. The attack hits the volcano at the center of the planet, which is completely destroyed in the next moment. And then the energy wave leaves the planet, even surpassing the natural camouflage that the planet has, being able to be visible as it goes into space. Surrounded by the dust raised by the attack that was just made, Odisu criticizes that all this effort was only worth raising dust. The mage swings his arms to brush away the dust, revealing Goku, who is already before him with an attack, which is stopped by Odisu's wind magic as the mage praises the attempt, but warns the destroyer that he was not born yesterday. But Goku doesn't seem to want to give up on this move, and then in a surprising act he launches another 50x increased Kamehameha, but this time he does it through his feet. Odisu is surprised by this, and with the powerful traction of the energy wave he releases through his feet, Goku manages to lunge at the mage with an outstretched hand to hit him in the face, and he sees the approach of the blow that seems to be inevitable. Odisu emanates from his eyes a strange frozen air. With just a single look, Odisu brings the Ice Age to the entire planet Chameleon in a second, avoiding by a few centimeters the blow of Goku, who is frozen in front of him in the exact position he was advancing before. Odisu addresses the frozen opponent, ordering him to leave at once. This was not enough to kill him. The block of ice is cracked, and the next moment it explodes as a huge amount of energy is released. As Odisu finishes walking away, Goku reveals a tired posture, only to a second later fall to his knees as he returns to base form, reflecting on this guy's surreal power. Goku didn't want to use his full power until he discovered the enemy's abilities, but if he continues like this, he will die even with his simplest techniques. Odisu admits that Goku has a very interesting way of fighting, which proves that he has lived a life of many combats, but that won't be enough to defeat him. If Goku wants to have a chance, he needs to stop fighting like a mortal and fight like a true god of destruction. Clenching his fists tightly as he unleashes the power of destruction that damages the frozen ground around him, Goku says, "Fight like a god, huh? Very well. Since you insist so much, from now on, I will fight like a god of destruction." That was chapter 16 of Dragon Ball Hakai. If you want to read this chapter, visit our website dbhakai.com. There you can read all the chapters of this story. And maybe when this video is published here on the channel, there will be other chapters available, so don't forget to check there later. I would like you to comment what you thought of this chapter. Your feedback is very important to help us improve more and more. Leave your criticisms and praises to the story in the comments, and also don't forget to leave your questions if you have any, because all the relevant questions in this video will be answered in future videos here on the channel. If you enjoyed the video, leave your like because it is too important for the reach of this video here on the platform, so we will know that you are enjoying Dragon Ball Hakai, and we will bring more and more of this content to you. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because then you'll know absolutely everything about Dragon Ball Hakai and the Dragon Ball franchise in general. Until the next time, goodbye.